All right. What's going on, party people? This is your man Griff. Also with Sharpen Your Skills, continuing education at Salon. Got to rep the wife. Let me put her info up here. Hit her up if you want everything you need to know about cosmetology. You can find there. She can let you know the straight deal on it, natural hair, color, you name it. Trying to get your license back if you don't have your license anymore. Took the course, never. You took a cosmetology course, never passed the state board, and you need refresher training so you can pass the state board. You need a mock state board practice. She does all of that. So hit her up, one-on-one tutoring if you just need help to pass the state board exam, whether on the skill side or the practical side. Only the theory side. Keep saying practical. Yeah, theory, skill, and theory might be practical. I don't know, but she can help you. All right. And she's also at the recording of this video, she's doing a special for, this is what, September the 5th. I know people don't like dating videos, but I'm dating it. 2021. By next Friday, she'll be ending her $10 haircut special. So hit her up. All that good stuff. If you see this 10 months from now, 6 months from now, this haircut special is over. Okay. All right. So I wanted to share with y'all about return on investment. And y'all know I'm very transparent, or somewhat transparent, or I'm not as foggy as other people. This is my third time trying to do this video. I'll just be straight with you. I was trying to do it early this morning, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I was falling asleep. I was so tired. I was doing it, and I didn't realize how tired I was. And I sat in this chair, and this is a very comfortable chair, and I just started getting relaxed. And I was just talking, and I don't know, and I probably dozed off a couple of times. I don't know, and woke back up and sent. I have no idea. So I'm just being real with you. Then I was just trying to do it this again, and then I had made a change to the slide that had some numbers that I wanted to show you, and then I saw a number, and I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. And I couldn't remember what it was that I took out. So I had to go back and get that straight. So now all of that is straight, and I'm just letting you know, because sometimes people think that when you do these videos, it just pop. Nah, I mean, when I'm really dealing with stuff like this, it can take me hours or even a half a day to really make sure I got my stuff straight. I mean, I go over it meticulously to the best of my ability to make sure I got my numbers right. I really do. So that's what I did, and I double checked. Then I took a cookie break and everything. So white chocolate macadamia nut. So apple fritters and white chocolate macadamia nut. They're my babies. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I know this is a side note. When the November comes, y'all know how I am with that eggnog. That eggnog with these cookies and an apple fritter, man, it's gonna be on and pop it. I'm serious. All right. So again, sharpen your skills, continuing education at Salon. Check the wife out. Admissions at Sharpen Your Skills. Skills is spelled with a Z, not an S, a Z. And we'll be more than happy to make sure you're on the right path for your cosmetology. And just remember, I'm Mr. Griffin of Sharpen Your Skills, continuing education and Salon. All right. So what I want to talk to y'all today about is the return on investment. I don't know how this is going to rub people. It's not something bad. I'm just going to give you my take on it from what I look at, the way I look at it, and everything. So, why are you doing that? So, I'm going to share with y'all my take on it, show you some numbers, try to help you understand the way I'm viewing this over a 3 and 6 month span of time as a new notary, trying to get their return on investment. From what I've learned during the time that I've been on YouTube, okay? And know what I'm saying, from the time that I've been on YouTube, starting in late November through January, December, and January, I consider that my new months, and even part of February. I was still getting my feet wet, trying to figure stuff out, just trying to understand what people are going through, why they're going through it, what their thought process is, all of that. And I've learned a tremendous amount from each and every one of you who I've talked to. Ups and downs. People been harsh with me. I guess I've been sort of pushed back harsh with them. I've been like, hey, this is what it is. Some people, they don't like that. They want, to be coddled. I'm not a coddling type of person. Except for my wife. So, and my kids and stuff like that. So when it comes to business, it's like, okay, here's what it is, stop making excuses to try to do stuff wrong, and it's not always based on what you think, it's what's supposed to be done. So given all that said, I've learned a lot. People have learned a lot about me. Some people probably say I ain't calling them no more. I probably said don't call me no more. I'm just being honest. I mean, it goes that way because we are human and everything. But what I have learned is that there are a couple of different types of people who are looking for this return on investment. And they don't always call it an ROI. They don't always say that, but they're looking, in other words, to get back what they put in. So the first person is the person who took business, learned something about business, maybe ran a business before, business coach, business mentor that they're dealing with, watch YouTube business videos, and they all talk about return on investment from a business standpoint. Get your return on investment. You put money in, you got to get it back, and it got to be a profit to that. If after a certain amount of time you put money in, let's just say 3 months, and you didn't get back what you put in, and it's at the negative, that's a loss on your ROI. If you got it and you matched it, cool. If you got it and you got more, cool. That's the way they look at it. End of story, no ifs, ands, or buts. And when I first started, I was hearing people say, I want a return on my investment, period. That's what they were saying. I got to get my return on investment as quickly as possible. Then you had the other set of people that said, hey, I made money. I put in 3,000. I put in 1,500. I made money. I got it back. Boom. Okay, cool. They happy. End of story. That's what they wanted. They wanted to see if this would work. They good. Then the other set, the third person is, I'm trying to make my money back, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do next. They don't look at it as an investment. They just look at it as, okay, I put money into this thing, and now I'm trying to get it back. Now, not everybody comes across that way, and that's why I like talking to people rather than always just emailing. Emailing is good. Texting is good. But when you talk to somebody, you can really hear their heart. You can hear the tone of their voice. You can really hear their intent. And then you can ask questions for clarification to make sure you understand what they're saying, not to change their mind, not to turn them away, but more so to help them, to help yourself understand where they're coming from, and maybe even help them to clarify what they're saying. Maybe in their mind, they was trying to say one thing and then they said something else, and and all of that. So you really want to converse with them. I like conversing with them and with y'all so that I can make sure I understand you clearly. Okay. Maybe that's the pastor in me, that's how I like to do so, because I like giving people correct information. And I can't always do that based off of an email or a text. It's a good start. It is a great start. But once I talk to a person, then it's like, okay, now I'm okay. Yep. Because some people aren't that good at communicating in written form. So if you're not a person who's great at communicating in written form, and you want to constantly email and type, and you're communicating to yourself in written form, and you understand what you're saying, but the other end may not be able to decipher it. So that's why I always tell people, if you're going to email me, send your phone number so I can give you a call or shoot you a text to see if you're available and everything. So those are the three types. I want my return on from a business standpoint, I want my money back. Business, just give me I need to get a return on my investment. Hey, I made money. I matched what I put in. I'm good. The other, I need my money back so I can, then I might determine, I don't know, I might stay in, might stay out. I might get in, stay in and get out. They just want to know so they can make a determination where they're going to bounce. So from there, I said, okay, the person who wants their money, from the business minded person or the business enthusiast person may say, it's like, okay, why they and I might get out person is acting the way they are. They might have borrowed the money allegedly. They might have found the money on the street and know they got to give it back allegedly. It might be not paying bills allegedly to make this thing work, and they trying to help them get that money back. They probably took money out of an investment account, and after a certain amount of time, they need to put that money back so that they don't get interest accrued, things of that nature. It could be a variety of reasons. It seems like the person who is just happy they made money to match what they put in probably just had the money available to invest into this. It's like, okay, I got the money. How much in it? Okay, here. And paid, got their stuff, and started doing the business. And they like, all right, cool, man. It's all right. I made some money. And that's sort of how I was when I got in. I was like, okay, I got the money. Now, for me, I took it off my life insurance policy, and I had some cash in hand, from all my other side hustle stuff. But I had to take some money off of my life insurance policy. But the bottom line is, I was like, okay, I got this money available that I can do this. Okay, let me see what happens. And I went out and started doing it. I did it, and I was like, man, okay, cool. I'm making money. But I did look at a little bit, okay, what's the return on investment? And the problem I had with that was I really didn't track how much I spent getting into business. I just knew I was getting into business and I was going to be in it for the long haul. So I personally didn't care how much I spent to get in, because I knew that after at least 6 months to a year, I was going to be okay financially, that I was going to make the money back, either from a gross standpoint of what I put in, I'm getting the same, I've made that same back, or the actual, okay, I put in, let's say, 2 grand, and over 8 months of me taking a little bit of money off of each thing, out of what I brought in each month, I've got my 2 grand back. So I was making 1,500, and I took $200 of that 15 to put toward my 2 grand. And after 10 months, I think it is, or 5 months or whatever, or 10 months, I think like 10 months, I made my money back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking at. I always gotta make sure I got my numbers right. Let's start 10 months. So after 10 months, I got my 2 grand back. So that was the mindset that I had. I understood the other person of, hey, I'm a business, I put money in, I got to make my return on investment back. I never considered, once I make my money back, I decide whether I'm gonna stay in this. That was not even my thought, because I saw, and again, I'm looking at things different. I saw that, okay, this is going to be a long-term deal for me. That's what I saw. I was like, yeah, this is going to work for me. I was happy. I knew it, and I just had to figure it out. So with ROI, it's about what you put in, and then after a certain amount of time, you take it out, and you should have a profit. That's the bottom line. You put it in, after a certain amount of time, you have a profit. That's how it works with real estate. That's how it works with the stock market. Now, for the notary business, it's about you going out there and doing the work. You put in 3 grand. How much work are you going to be able to do, and can you do over a certain period of time to get that money back? Whether from a gross to gross, gross 3 grand I put in, gross 3 grand I make. How is that going to happen? So you got to that's what you have to figure out. And you have to determine, okay, how I'm going to get the money back. Am I just going to say, I did 3 grand, put 3 grand in, and I got 3 grand out, I'm good? Or I put 3 grand in, but I have this money, that I got to pay for expenses, and I'm going to take a little bit and set that aside each month till it equals the 3 grand. Whichever way is fine with me. You do what you need to do. So that's what we have to take in account. So do 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 do. All right, just want to share this out with y'all. All right, now I'm not playing the video because haven't figured out the Fair Use Act and how you can play videos and all of that from other people. So I ain't doing that. All right, so what is a good ROI? In this case, he's saying, and I have a playlist on my channel called ROI. Go to the playlist, look at the videos, you'll be good. All right. What is ROI? ROI is when you're trying to, he says he's trying to achieve 10% ROI or more. However, it depends on your industry, your goals, and your competition and other factors, period. Okay. So that's talking about a good ROI. That is what you need to be focusing on or can be focused on. And there's a lot of different factors that are involved in this. Okay. So I just did a guesstimate because I don't even, like I said, I don't know. And I would say if I did a guesstimate on how much I put into this business to get started as a one-time fee to just, or just, as a fee just to get started, the initial, I would have to roughly say maybe $3,000. Okay. I don't know what I spent all that money on. I would have to sit there and I would even have to include it, the amount of money it cost me just to get to do Ron on Doc Verify and the certificates and all of that stuff. So I would have to roughly say $3,000. Okay. And that's what I'm going to be working off of. I'm going to be working off of the numbers of $3,000 to have gotten into this business. Now, let me set some stuff up here. Okay. With that, you need to understand that for notaries, you got to be working in order to get a return on your investment. Unless you're going to instantly set up, and this is what a lot of people are doing, just trying to set up all of these training programs and mentor programs as a way to make money. So it doesn't cost a whole lot to be a mentor. I mean, you just say it and then people are supposed to just start paying you. So now they're saying, okay, I'm a mentor after 2 or 3 months of being in a business. And now they're like, okay, I made my return on investment back. I made my $3,000 back. Okay, cool. Yeah, you made the money back. You got 10 people to be your mentor, to let you mentor them. And those 3 people, gave you your $3,000. So somehow you got 10 people to pay you $300 and you made your $3,000 back. Now you didn't make it actually doing notary work. You made it doing this other stuff. To me, that doesn't count. Now, to you, it's going to count, but to me, it doesn't count because you signed up and you paid to be a notary, not a mentor. Well, Griff, I had to expand, but you paid to be, and you're not even doing the notary part anymore. You're just straight, quote unquote, mentoring people and making them pay you $300 a pop, which is what you are not getting as a notary. You're not getting $300 a pop. You thought you'd get $300 a pop, make 10 grand, make $3,000 a month and just do 10 signings. And then you was going to be off to the races and be able to buy your red bottoms and your Nikes and all of that. And you good. Well, unfortunately that didn't happen. So you switched over to this other avenue. Now, if it's going to cost you $3,000 to get in, that means you got to go out here and work this thing. Whether you're trying to do it from the mentor standpoint or from the actual, I'm going to be a notary like I'm commissioned to do and make my money that way. So let me share this. The issue is this. You invested $3,000, but you have a monthly expense of mentorship at $300 that you're paying somebody. Okay, you're paying somebody $300 to tell you what to do. That's really what it boils down to for a lot of people. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. Be a sounding board for me so I can complain about ... That's for some people, not all. I'm going to pay you $300 a month for whatever. I mean, sometimes you don't even have a reason. I'm just paying you because you said so. And I think that's the cool thing to do. And I just want to be able to have access to you for however much time you want to give me per month. Okay. But what about your initial investment to get into business? When are you going to start seeing a return on that? Well, most people say I'll see a return when I start getting these orders of whatever dollar amount and above. In most cases, $150, from what I've been told over and over and over again. Now, imagine you talking to a financial planner. You're telling your financial planner, hey, I'm investing $3,000 to start a notary business. And they're going to say, okay, well, how much money can you potentially make? Well, I've seen people saying they've made between 8 and 10 grand. Okay, you're making 8 to 10 grand. How much work do you have to do that? Well, if I'm, they said you can get, $150. So you talking about $150 divided by 10,000. So you're talking about 66 signings a month at 150. You got to do 66 signings a month at 150 to get 10 grand. Okay. Are you going to do 66 signings a month to get 10 grand? It's actually 67. You rounded up to 67. And he's like, okay, cool. But what if, so how often do the $150 orders come in? Have you seen a whole lot? Do you always get assigned to them? Is it automatic? Is it an automatic that you're going to get 67 signings a month at 150? Is that a guarantee? Is that? No, it's not. Are there any other orders that you can take if you're not getting the 150? Well, yes, there's other orders. There's a lot of other orders that are even, that's below 150, that's below 100 that a person can take. It's a lot more work to get the 10 grand, but it can be done. Okay. Now, are there any other expenses you have outside of the basic, understanding that you have the paper and all of that, which I have listed here? You say, well, I have a mentor that I have to pay $300 to. So now the question is going to be from a financial planner standpoint. Okay, so that means you need to make enough money so you can pay the mentor their 300, and you can pay me my money for our conversations, our talking, and all of that. Okay, and my fee is 700. I mean, it's 400. So we're gonna say $400 a month. So $700 a month in expenses just in personal counseling. Okay, I didn't put that on there, but because that's outside of the notary realm. Okay. Now you can say, well, that's cool. I got that covered because you're paying that anyway through what? Your regular W-2. But if you're not, you may not have a W-2, you may quit and all of that. But let's just say you don't even have to pay them. They're willing to talk to you for free. You still got $300 a month to pay in monthly mentorship. Whether you use the mentor or not, whether they are available to you or not, whether they're on vacation or not, you still got to pay that $300. So you've been told don't take orders of a certain dollar amount. You're not taking them. So therefore, your money is very limited. You do, I think, $550 orders. That comes out to like $750 minus the $300 that you got to pay your mentor. So you're talking about you're roughly hanging on $450 a month after you've put in 3 grand. Okay, so you're not really doing a whole lot. So it's going to take you a long time to get your 3 grand back. What I'm displaying here is simply this. If you took $36.85 signings, you will make $3,060 for each month. In order to conduct those signings, you're talking about at least 2 signings per day at 20 days, Monday through Friday a month. So doing Monday through Friday, you make 20 days a month. You're talking about doing, and those 36 signings comes out to, if we're going to roughly say 150 pages for the closing package, meaning you had to print 300 pages. So you had to print 300 pages. That equals out to 10,800 pages for 1 month that you had to print. And in my opinion, to start the business off, you need at least 2 cases of letter, 2 cases of legal, even though you typically don't use more legal than letter, but I still say be on the safe side. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what that sound was. So now what you got going on is your toner. Toner is $235, typically on Amazon. So that's for a 2-month supply. Okay. So your toner can last you probably 2 months. Depending on the printer and all of that. But I'm going with the 10,000 page, the TN 880 for Brother. So I'm just going to roughly say 235. It could be less, it could be more, depending on the printer you have and how many pages it typically can yield. And then again, you got the $300 you're paying each month in mentorship. Okay. And I just picked because I've heard over 300, I've heard under 300. I've heard people say it could be pay as you go every time you talk with somebody, and all of that. Now, the other side about the mentors you got to keep in mind is this. If you're paying them $300 a month and then you need information like who to sign up for, are they charging you for that? Are they charging you for additional stuff from them so that you're paying them $300 just to be able to talk to them for, say, 30 minutes to an hour a month? But then on the other side, they're charging you to get additional information from them. So you might need, a list of something or to find out something, and they're charging you for every other little thing that you would need from them. So that means your expense goes up even more, but yet you're not taking any signings. So at $85, you do 36 a month. You're making $3,060. You're getting money back. Okay. You're working and you're bringing money in. True. It is not the $200 signing. It's not this and all that. I get that, but you're making something. Okay. You're making something. So next is in your first 3 months, the red is 6 months. Okay. The red is over 6 months. In your first 3 months, you made $1,180. $9,180. You did 108 closings. Your expense for your paper and toner is $1,287 for your first 3 months. And then your estimated net after your expenses there is $7,893. However, you got the $300 mentor fee that you're paying. So now that $7,893 goes down to $6,993. Okay. But then you're also trying to get back your ROI. That is the ROI. You're trying to get back that $3,000. So you go ahead on and you say, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set aside $500 a month toward the $3,000 ROI. Okay, the $3,000 of return of investment is going to be. I'm gonna take out $500 each month and set that aside. It's going to take you 6 months. That's why I did the red numbers. So you see what the numbers are in 6 months. Okay, now here's a kicker. So this fee right here, down here, the final 3 month revenue, $5,493. That's after you take out the additional for 3 months. You take out the that $1,500 that you're trying to pay back. This doesn't include this estimated net doesn't include the $1,500 that you're taking out. Okay, this doesn't include that. This does. So now you're talking about $5,493. So now you're talking about in 3 months. I'm always typing stuff wrong. So in 3 months, so for each month, that means you're pulling in $1,831. Now, some people say, man, that ain't a whole lot of money. Okay, you could say that, but I'm thinking there is a bill or two that you can pay with that. There is a bill or two you can pay with $1,831. There's gas that you can pay. There's maintenance fees on your car you can pay. There's childcare expenses that you can pay. There's something that you can pay with that. Now, The 2,131 is the $300 coming back, that you're not paying for during those 3 months. So during those 3 months, you're not paying. So now your monthly revenue is $2,131. Okay. Now, after you pay back the ROI, what you're bringing in now is 2,331. But that still doesn't, that's with the mentor. You're paying 300 out for the mentor. You're no longer paying the 500. So down here at the bottom where it says return after ROI, after you pay back the ROI, you're going to be making 2,331. You're still paying your mentor the 300. But if you're not paying the mentor 300, now your monthly revenue is 2,631. I think you can really make some changes in your life with that. You can really do something significant with that. Okay. So that's basically where you're at with the money. Now, here's how you can really understand, okay, that you're making some money with this business. Again, I know there's other expenses, and I know a lot of the trainers out there are going to try to tear this apart, and they're going to start getting into, well, he's not accounting for how much air he breathes, and how much gas he uses, and how much the brakes cost on the vehicle to repair and the maintenance, and he's not accounting for the computer and how that's deteriorating in itself. I understand that. I do understand that. But you also got to take into account there's tax deductions that you're getting as a business owner that you don't get as a W-2. You get 56 cents a mile tax deduction. So then you get the $5 self-employment reduction that you don't get that you reduce your taxable income by $5 for each stamp you do, at least in Virginia, and it could be more in other places. So there's tax deductions that you have, different write-offs that you can get to reduce your tax liability. Okay. So a lot of the stuff people are calculating is, these costs that, okay, you get some kind of deduction in the end for them and all of that. So you're getting 56 cents a mile. I'm doing probably about maybe 2,200 miles a month. So that comes out to, oops, I always do that. How in the world did I get that? That comes out to 1,232 as a tax deduction for his mileage. So 2,000, so 56 cents a mile times 2,200, that comes out to 1,232. Okay, that's why you have your tax guy. They take care of all of that. But what you need to understand is this. Okay, let me bring, if I can grab it. So let's so you can see where the numbers are at. Right here. That 2,631 times 6 gives you the 15,786. So in 6 months, you made $15,000 times 2. You made 31,572 in your first year. Yes, there's other expenses. Yes, there's wear and tear on your car. Yes, there's all of these other ancillary things that you are sitting here writing down in your response video to what I'm doing. I get that. But let's just take it from a high level. Okay, a high level. You have an opportunity to make $31,000. Some of you not making $31,000 in your day job. You can't tell me that $31,000 bringing in that as a business owner doesn't affect your family in a positive manner. I'm just saying. Okay. Now you done made your money back. So after 6 months, you made your money back. Okay. So in the first 6 months, this is where you're at, this 12,000. So let's just do it this way. So the first 6 months, Once you take out all of that mentorship and the investment money, the mentorship and the return on investment and all of that. So the first 6 months is 12,486. And plus the 15,786, that's 28,000. Okay, 28,000. So let's do this here. Let's add back in 1,800 because you spent that 300 on that mentor. You're still at 30,000. You're at $30,000. So the question is, what are you getting from your mentor? See, here's the question. Here's the question. Here's the question. What is the return on investment you're getting by paying somebody $300 a month? I'm giving y'all the chance to think about it. Now, do I pay fees? Yeah, there's a fee that I pay with the Notary coach. Okay, and it's like $29, I think it is. Yeah, $29 that I pay with him. But you paying a human being $300. What is that human being giving you back in return? I mean, you can pay anybody who whatever you want. But the question is, what are you getting back in return? Because as a financial planner would ask, what is your return on investment in giving somebody $300? What are they giving you that is enabling you to make the necessary money to cover what you pay? And you're doing that consistently. So you initially invested $3,000. You saw the numbers where you can get that money back by you going out there doing work. But what is it that they're telling you, that they're giving you, that you can get back the money that you're spending with them? I'm not saying that they shouldn't charge you. They charge you whatever. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay. You can pay whatever. What I'm saying is, what are you getting back in return? If you're in Facebook groups, and I didn't even cover it, I didn't even go into the money people are paying to be in Facebook groups. So if you're in a Facebook group on top of paying mentor money, the question is, what are you getting out of the Facebook group? But yet at the same time, are you doing the work? Because if you spent all of this money to get into the business just to then turn around and say, okay, I'm gonna start a training program, I'm gonna start a mentor program, you're not even doing the business. So how can you mentor somebody when you're not even doing the business to be able to mentor them, to help them? That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. And we're constantly running behind people who are doing this, and then they don't have any true experience. So a financial planner, you wouldn't hook up with a first-year financial planner. You would not, unless that person has some serious oversight. Who is the oversight for these mentors and these people doing these training programs? Who provides oversight to ensure what they're telling you isn't a bunch of mess? No one. They're falling under other people and trying to replicate what other people are doing. But those people who they're falling under, they have no oversight. There is no oversight. So now you're paying somebody $300 and there's no oversight in anything that they can say or tell you to do. It's just them coming up out of the blue saying, hey, this is boom. There's no oversight. There's no checks and balance. There's nobody that's pulling their coattail. There's nobody that's telling them, hey, you said something wrong. You don't even hear them come back and say, hey, my bad, I said this wrong. Oh, okay. You don't hear them saying that. Now, I've said that if I made a mistake and I misspoke, I'll come back and say, I'll correct myself. But there is no oversight. I provide oversight on myself. My wife provides oversight on me. But if you got a person who's doing this training and mentoring and their spouse isn't even involved in it, their spouse don't even want to have anything to do with this, well, there's no oversight there because the spouse don't even care what they say, what they do. As long as they're making the money, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you tell them folk. They don't matter to me. So there's no oversight. So I'm paying $300 into something that doesn't have any oversight. That doesn't make sense. That a true good financial planner would not sign off on that. So now that you've seen the numbers, if you're in a position to make $10,000 a month, Cool. Just make sure you have the infrastructure to support and handle that with your accountant, with your bank, all of that, so that you don't have $10,000 a month coming in and then you turn around and got 15,000 going out. Don't think that that is not possible, because if you don't have your look, if you wasn't a good money manager before you became a notary, just because you have the ability to make 3 times the amount that you was making before or double does not mean you instantly turned into a money manager, because being a money manager means you got to have some knowledge of money and understanding things. That's why I tell y'all, check out Minority Mindset. Go to Minority Mindset on YouTube. Let me put that in here. On YouTube, go to Minority Mindset on YouTube. Okay, go there so you can learn even more about, and I have a playlist. I have a Minority Mindset playlist on my channel that you can go to and look at some of his videos. So if you're not financially educated and you start making more money, you won't even probably recognize that you made your return on investment, because you just got money flowing in and you're like, hey, I'm chilling. I'm good. I guess I got all this money flowing in. And so this is my take on it. Now, if I'm incorrect, trust me, I will come back on and correct it. And I did everything I could to make sure my numbers was right. So if somebody scrutinizes and all of that, and see this, now I'll be honest with you, this is where the fellas come out. See, the ladies come out and start talking smack about me when I say take orders under $100. The fellas come out and start talking smack when I start talking numbers, and they start scrutinizing the numbers and and everything. And then both come out and start talking smack about, well, you're not accounting for this and accounting for that. I've already told y'all, I know I'm not accounting for every single little expense in there. Okay. So you hear me, you've heard me. So don't come at me like I didn't say this, like I was saying, oh, these are your only expenses, just the paper and all of that. I didn't say that. And you know this. Okay. So don't play with me in the comment section with that mess. Okay. Trying to start something. Okay. We're trying to help people here. And if you have information that can help, instead of bumping your gums in the comment section, let's get on here. Or you do it on your channel, come teach me. And I'll be more than happy to allow you to show, okay, boom. All right. But if you're trying to do this and going to say, well, okay, well, yeah, Griff, what he said was right. But see, he didn't take all of these other things in account. We've already established that. We know I didn't take all those other things in account. Didn't have time to. Okay. Just trying to give a general overview, primarily to help you understand, when are you going to get your return on investment back? What are you doing to get that return on investment? If all you're doing is sitting here waiting for when your ship comes in, the $150 ship, it's going to be a long time before you get that return on investment back. If you're not worried about getting back the money that you put in, then you should be okay sitting back, just taking 150 whenever they come. But you shouldn't hop on YouTube talking about, man, this business suck. I ain't made my money back. Wait a minute. If you didn't care about making the money back, then you shouldn't be complaining about it. Just take whatever comes your way that you feel is necessary and worth your while and worth you getting up off your seat. And my thing is, it seems like a lot of y'all are sitting on your butts, not doing anything. What else are you doing? If you're not doing the notary work, what are you doing? Just sitting there looking at TV? That's why I say, look at my Make Your Move playlist. If all you're doing is just sitting there and not doing anything of any value, you know what I'm saying? I'm never just sitting. I'm constantly on the move. If I'm not doing notary work, I'm doing house inspections. I'm doing something to build my business and to grow my business. So if all you can do is just sit and wait for somebody to call you, no wonder you're really not making any money. Nobody became successful being comfortable, as I was recently taught. Nobody has become successful by being comfortable. So you're sitting there all comfy and your little snuggie and everything, and you're not even really working. And if somebody happens to, oh, okay, well, we'll give them a call. And if they meet your criteria to get up off of your butt to go out there and make some money, then you'll go and do so. You know what I'm saying? You're getting all haughty. If you're going to do this business, do it. And stop fiddle-faddling around. Stop making excuses. As one of the videos I put in there in my Make Your Move playlist, and let me put it so people, sensitive little mouse. You need to check out my Make Your Move playlist, because one of the things, and I talked about it on Instagram yesterday, and I agree wholeheartedly with Eric Thomas when he said this. Average people are the ones who complain the most. When you're trying to be when you are average, not even trying to be, when you're average, you complain about everything. Everybody is everybody's fault why you can't get nothing done. Now, I've never blamed anybody for anything that is not happening in my life when it comes with regard to notary. Not that I hadn't done it in the past. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not that I hadn't done it in the past. But with this, I'm not. Now, you'll say, well, you talk about them pandemic notaries. I'm identifying that because of the pandemic notaries being improperly trained, it's going to cause a problem. But I'm not blaming them for me not being able to make money, because I'm doing what I need to do to make the money. So I'm actually still making the money that I need to make. I made my 6 G's last month, like I said I wanted to make. I made that, and then I made over 2 G's doing a house inspection. So I made my money, okay? And I'm not trying to say these numbers just to brag. I'm just trying to get you to understand. I recognize what's going on with the pandemic notaries. I recognize what's going on with untrained notaries out there, and notaries who just don't have the proper education. But I don't let that stop me. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm not hopping in Facebook groups whining about because you're the reason why we're getting pennies. You're the reason why we're hurting and we can't make money. No. To all of you, let me get in here a little bit closer. To all of you notaries who are out here doing what you got to do to make money, taking the $80 orders or $60 orders or whatever the case may be, maybe even driving 2 hours to do an order. What you're doing for you and your business is not hurting anybody. If they can't make the money, that's on them. Period. It's on them. Because let's look at it this way. And I'm sort of off this topic of the return on investment. And I know I'm being on here about an hour, so y'all know how it rolls. And I'm gonna try to finish this up in 12 minutes. Here's the deal. If you out here working this thing and you got these quote unquote connections to where you're getting paid your 150, or as we say in the streets, 150, you out here making your 150 and you popping your collar like Morris Day on Prince and the Time Crew and all of that, and Purple Rain. It shouldn't matter to you what anybody else does or takes for their money. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Man, I just did that old person whistle. I don't know if you heard that. They went, like, ooh, I don't like that. Yeah, you know, people be talking and all of a sudden they got that whistle coming through. I don't like that. That's old people. Back when I was growing up, old people be talking like that, and they be talking, and you hear that little whistle sound, and I'm like, I just heard that. I gotta have a talk with myself about that later. But the bottom line is simply this: if you got your stuff together to the point that you're making this 150, 100 or whatever, and you're not getting up off of your couch and you just bragging about it everywhere you go, how in the world did me coming into the business and taking a $60 order, $85 order drastically affect you? I would have to then question, well, not me, you need to question the signing company or that title company that you're working with, that if they was paying this fee and then all of a sudden things drop just because of these people, and that means you're not really as established with them as you thought. Because I thought you had them on lock. If you got them on lock that you can't, that hey, I'm getting 150, and then Earl and Cody and all of them roll up in there, yeah, man, we got to drop you down to like them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you dropping me down? Well, you got these new notaries, so we paying the new. Okay, but I ain't new. I ain't new. All right. So how are you gonna pay me less just because they showed up to the party late? So the question is, do you really have your escrow people on lock like that? Do you have your signing company on lock? I don't have that problem with the signing companies. 60 signers last month, over 6 G's. That's clear that I've made at least $100 per signing. Ain't nobody trying to cut me down. I'm still making it. I'm doing what I got to do. So what, these new people came in, more power to them. But the companies that I'm dealing with, which are signing companies that are on SnapDocs and signing order, they funnel me what I need. And they recognize the good work that I do. So I'm trying to figure out, if you are all that, why would they need to reduce your fee because they got some new notaries that's paid that they can pay less? They don't do that at your job, do they? They don't do that at your W-2. You're making $85,000 a year, and then all of a sudden they get a new manager in there that they're paying 45 to. I don't think they drop your pay down to 45, do they? No. But you're saying they doing that in the notary world. All I can say is get on YouTube and provide some documented proof. What companies are doing it and why they're doing it. There has to be a reason why. But see, you don't want to go that deep into this. You just want to bump your gums and tell everybody, you hurting me, you're hurting me. Man, nobody cares about you. Nobody even know you. All right? So you need to stop messing with people and their money, telling them how bad you're being hurt by them. I mean, when you really think about it, what kind of person gets online and tells another person who they don't know, you are hurting me? I mean, that's literally what you're saying. You are hurting me. I don't know you, but you're hurting me. And y'all need to meditate on, well, I won't say meditate, that's too deep. Think about that briefly on that. A grown man, a grown woman in one state is telling another grown man, another grown woman in another state that they are hurting them because they took an order under $100. You didn't charge enough. I've heard people get fussed at about, you took a seller's package for $125. How dare you? What is wrong with you? See, this is the reason why I can't make money now, because of people like you. And you're doing, and I'm sitting here. What person thinks that much of themselves that they really are sitting here saying, you hurt me because you didn't charge them $185 and you made $125, and that you're literally saying $125 isn't good enough for you? How do you justify being that kind of person? Y'all really got to think about this stuff that's going on. A human being is telling another human being, and fussing at them via social media and going all in, writing posts about it and stuff, about how this person is causing them pain. See, this is why we need some big mamas and some big daddies up in Notary and in the Facebook group to put some of these folk in check. Because I know doggone well if you went to Big Mama and Pop's house and you went to your parents and you told them, say, yeah, you sitting at the little Sunday dinner and they're like, what's wrong with you, Raekwon? Raekwon, I ain't picking on you. Yeah, what's wrong with you, Johnny or Cody or whoever? You know, what's wrong with you, babies? What's wrong? Man, shoot. That daggone Griff over there in Virginia, he be taking them orders for under $100 and I can't make no money. Well, okay, but baby, we live in Texas. How is that how is that hurting you? How is that affecting you, hurting you? It's hurting me, mama. It's hurting me because he taking them orders. Okay, but are these, do they have only orders for $85 here in Texas? Nah, there's orders for $100. Okay, baby, then what are you doing to get them? Nothing. So you ain't doing anything, but you blaming this Griff guy for your failure. Go get me 3 switches and everything, because I need, get me the good ones, the flexible ones, because I got to braid them together before I whip your behind. This is the reality of what's going on in this notary business. It's a bunch of foolishness. Grown people sitting up here crying at the Sunday dinner table about what one person is doing over here and that this affecting them and they can't make no money. And ain't nobody offering any valid proof. And again, I will say, just because Amrock, and there's nothing wrong with Amrock or Service Link, because in my area, Service Link is like, we ain't paying no more than 70. Okay. And anybody who wants more, what I've been told, they're not getting any orders. So then you move on from them if you want more. It's too many daggone companies out here for you to be stuck with this one company. It's just too many. If I'm doing 60 orders a month, that's what I did. If for me to do 60, just imagine how many that I saw that I didn't get or that I couldn't respond to or whatever. There was way more than 60 orders that I saw in a month. In order for me to do 60, there has to be, at least in my opinion, double to triple. So you're talking about at least 180 orders that came through my area at minimum for me to be able to pull 60. And I would even have to say it had to be more than that. Well over 300 in order for me to get 60 out of the 3. With all the notaries that's in here, I would still have to increase that and say it had to be a couple of thousand orders that came through in order for me to get 60. It's a numbers game. And you're saying you can't make any money. You can't make any money because you don't want to make any money. Y'all have a good day. Peace.